Subaru Impreza is considered a sports car. Now, some people disagree, some people agree. It doesn't really matter. But what differs it from Outbacks and Crosstreks and what have you is the ability to upload the map, is the ability to tune it. It also works a little bit differently. It monitors the engine a little bit differently. For that reason, sometimes there are issues where the ECM reports timing issues, but there are no timing issues. Their stored values don't match the actual values. So when you replace the engine, you have to reset the ECM, all those learned values. And the same, likewise, when you replace the ECM, you have to clear those. For that reason, a lot of people do tuning. And what commonly happens when you do tuning is either the process is interrupted and the MCU bootloader is corrupted and you have to reflash it. It's actually easier to just replace the ECM in that case. Or we have power issues, and that seems to be relatively common as well. Oftentimes you connect the wires and you short the wrong wire and the ECM dies. And that's what happened with this one. We have 4.2 and 5 volt rails, both are not working. So let's see if we can figure out what's wrong with it. Hello friends, welcome back to the bench. Thank you very much for joining me. Our patient is 2014 Subaru WRX. We diagnosed it on stream. So what we noticed is that a 5 volt rail and 4.2 volt rail are not working. We have no output. The way this works is that we get input over here. I got too many reflections over here. There, that should be better. So we get our roughly 12 volts on this pin. That is our output. So we should have about 4.2 volts on this one and 5 volts on this one. And that in turn supplies our MCU, output stages, what have you. And this works basically as a voltage divider, essentially. So it's a linear regulator, but it is not, unlike 7805 or those kind of regulators, they are controlled by something on the board. Now on older models, we have a big, let me see if I can show you. This is an older model, but as you can see, it works exactly the same. We have two transistors. One provides 5 volts, the other one, on this one, it's more like 2.7, 2.8 volts, something like that. And typically what happens in this situation, this resistor gets fried. And pretty much all you have to do is just replace this resistor and the rail comes back. But the rail is actually controlled by this Denso chip, right? What's inside, we don't know. But that's what controls these two transistors. So if you replace the resistor and it still doesn't work, you have to replace this chip and it should work. On newer models, on the other hand, as you can see, we have almost nothing on either side. Last time on the stream, we tried to narrow down or find the resistor that would be responsible for that, but we couldn't. So the only thing that turns on is SE9 or IC501, but the chip in question is, if we can read it, SE981. This chip, one of its functions is the output stage for the CAN bus. So if there's no communication, we suspect this chip or the MCU, but there's pretty much nothing else on that route. So it's either this chip or this chip. And as you can see on this board in general, we only have a handful of chips. I slept on it and I figured we're gonna confirm it today. I think IC501 is the equivalent of this big chip on this board that controls the voltage rails. When I turn it on, it consumes 1 watt instead of 3.5. And this is the only chip that gets warm. The MCU doesn't get warm, doesn't turn on, and the voltage on the caps is 0 because we don't have 5 volt rail. So naturally it's not gonna work. But most likely this chip is responsible. So today what we're gonna do is first we're gonna remove the chip and measure what the readings are on the transistors in an effort to establish whether this chip is actually connected to the transistors. Then We're gonna replace the chip, turn it on, and hopefully 5-volt rail will come back. If not, well, we learned something new. So let's get to it. It's not very hard, but it is time consuming. So let's speed up the footage and get it done. Alrighty, and the moment of truth. We are connected. I connected the ignition, and now what we want to see is 3 watts of power being drawn instead of 1 watt. Let's see. Nope, it's still 1 watt. So the MCU is not turning on. And let's just confirm we don't have the rails. But judging by the power consumption, yeah, we have no rails. So let's connect the multimeter, and 4.2 is giving us millivolts. Yep, and 5-volt rail is giving us 10 millivolts. Yep. So this is not it, but what I noticed is after I removed the IC501, the reading on the transistor has changed. So it is connected. So this must be responsible for the power rails in that case. But something else on the route in between the chip and the transistors, something else is open. Actually, is it open? Because if it was open, then I would expect that the removal of the chip, the IC501, would not affect it, but it does. The reading has changed when I removed the chip, but it looks like the chip was okay. It didn't seem like it was like there was anything wrong with it, because it didn't seem like there was a short or anything like that, right? But something here is wrong. Something was killed definitely by a higher voltage or higher current, because there was a short, or the cables were shorted during some procedure. I think something related to evap, not sure. Well, at least we got our answer. So partially it looks like this chip is indeed has something to do with these transistors, but it's not the chip that is faulty, which is too bad. But I guess all we can do here is probably, well, I'm gonna clone it to the replacement, but I don't think the replacement is gonna work. And it's not only because it's a different model and different firmware, but also on Imprezas, the MCU learns the engine. So if you just swap them like that, the car might work, but you're gonna have a check engine light, and partially some functionalities of the car will not work, will not be available due to that. So I guess I'm gonna spend a little more time on this and see if I can figure it out, although I'm kind of running out of ideas. And it's not a lot of components, but I really don't want to just brute force it and just take the other ECM and just go component by component, just comparing. But maybe I will do that. We'll see. If I have time, if there's no other work, then I'll definitely look into that. But we're gonna have to reach out to the customer and see if this is a rush job, because if it's a daily driver, it usually isn't on Imprezas. It's usually a project car. But if it's a daily driver, then let's swap the MCUs, swap the VIN, and then I can keep this one and just keep working on it until I find what the problem is. Because I'm curious, because this is relatively common issue. This happens. I've had it before, but on the older ones, and somehow on the older ones it's easier to repair, and on these ones not so much. But that would be very valuable if I did find what exactly is responsible for this. But that's it for now. Thank you guys very much for watching. I do appreciate you, and I shall see you guys